Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of our Community Access. This week we visit with Banbury Cross Stables to visit some wonderful kids. Do not miss this story. Then we have another great ribbon cutting in Oxford, and that's all today in our Community Access. Welcome back. This is a special story about Banbury Cross Stables. With this story is our reporter, Terry Stiles. Terry?
So Banbury Cross is a therapeutic equestrian center. We have been around for 27 years, and we provide equine-assisted activities for individuals with special needs. So that may be social struggles, it may be physical, cognitive impairments. So we utilize the horse as not a tool, but as an aid to help our riders overcome some of their struggles.
Hi Bill, we're at Banbury Cross, a little bit north of Oxford. We've been here before, but it's been a while, so I thought I would meet up with Jessica Moore, and she's going to refresh us on what Banbury Cross is all about and how people can get involved. Hi, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. How are you today?
I'm fine. Let's refresh our viewers on what Banbury Cross is all about. And
Wonderful. So Banbury Cross is a therapeutic equestrian center. We provide lessons 6 days a week right now to over 80 riders a week. We also have a program where we provide equine-assisted psychotherapy to local veterans. And we are a nonprofit, and so we're greatly supported by volunteer help and also through grant funding and fundraisers. We have a wonderful base of volunteers of over 65 volunteers a week that we cannot do without.
so your volunteers, they're trainers, right? And they've been trained to help people?
We have our instructors who we have on staff. We have 5 part-time instructors that teach our lessons, and they go through an entire certification program through our international agency called PATH International, and that sets all of the safety standards for our industry. And then our volunteers go through a training regimen through us that we set up. So yes, our volunteers go through an initial volunteer assessment and training to learn our policies and safety procedures, and then additionally when they want to become more involved with leading the horses and preparing the horses, then they go through more assessments. So everybody's very, very well trained here, and our safety is our biggest priority. So. I mean, our ultimate goal is for our riders to become as independent as possible. So some riders may stay with us as they learn that independence and become more responsible and more involved with their horse and learn to ride from going from 2 sidewalkers and a leader with their horse to riding independently off the lead line. That's our ultimate goal, is to foster as much independence as possible. We do have the occasional rider that will kind of graduate out of our program and go on to more independent or public lesson programs, but no, there's absolutely no term limit. We like to see our riders progress indefinitely.
You just led me to one question that's been dancing around my head. Tell me some of your greater success stories.
Oh goodness, the list is endless. But
how about your favorite?
My favorite is probably a young man who started riding with me when he was 4, and he actually said his first words on the horse, and in front of his parents, which was amazing. And they hadn't been able to get him to speak, and he every week after week, for him to get his horse to walk on. At the start, we would always say, tell your horse to walk on, but he would use a button, tap his hand on the horse's neck to go. And one week I just said the same thing, tell your horse to walk on, expecting the button tap, and he said, walk. And so
I
that
bet there's a lot of tears here, right?
absolutely, that was remarkable. So, we have monumental successes, we have little successes. Every single one of those adds up, and that's why we're here.
Just getting him on the horse has got to
For
be a
some of
huge
them,
success.
Yes. Yeah. Horses are such large creatures, even our ponies, and so for a lot of our riders, that in itself, getting on the horse is a huge confidence booster. John's been riding with us for a few years now. He began with a leader and 2 sidewalkers, and he has very quickly progressed to needing just a leader and a lot of times no assistance at all. It's a big leap of faith for them to trust us and their volunteer team that they're going to be safe, but it's also instrumental in them learning that they can learn how to control that horse, something that's so much larger than them, and really that they are in charge of, which is a big part of why horses work so well for this type of program.
And so let's talk about the horses a little bit. Where do they come from? What kind of training do they have to go through? Is it the training and the trainer and the horse that go through the training? How does that happen?
So we have 12 horses in our program of varying sizes, ages, widths, different type of movements that allows us to accommodate a wide variety of riders. Not every rider needs the same type of movement, the same size horse. Our horses are all donated, and so they do go through a stringent process of evaluation. Before they even come here, I go out and evaluate them to see if they would be a good fit as a candidate. And then they would come in for a 60-day trial period in which we kind of simulate classes, what they would be expected to do, and see how they stand up. And it's a hard job. Not every horse is cut out for this work. They have lots of different handlers on a weekly basis, lots of different riders who are not always balanced and not always the quietest, and they put up with a lot. Our horses are very giving. They love their jobs. They love people. And I truly think that it takes a different sense horse. And I've been around horses my whole life, and we have very special ones.
And how about the volunteers, speaking of very special ones? What's the process for that? If somebody's interested, what kind of training do they go through?
We have trainings quarterly, so between each session, so roughly every 2 months, 3 months, depending on how our sessions fall. And if anybody is interested, they can simply call the office at 248-628-7433, and we will let them know when we're holding our next orientation. They can sign up for that, come out. It's a 2-hour commitment where we go over all of the basics, and then they can come out and get started.
Do they have to have experiences with horses prior to? No, they don't.
No, they
And how about with handicapped people or people with disabilities?
No, we will cover everything they need to know to participate in classes initially. And then, as I had mentioned before, if they do want to handle the horses, then we'll do a separate assessment for that. We do have a minimum age limit for our volunteers. They must be 13 to start volunteering.
And what kind of volunteer work do they do if they are volunteering?
We have everything from helping in the back, preparing the horses for classes, getting the horses ready in the arena, sidewalking and leading the horses, and working with the riders, directly. And then we also have, for people who might not be interested in being with the horses or riders directly, but still want to help, we always have miscellaneous office work, cleaning to do. Because we are a nonprofit, all of our staff is very part-time. And so any way that we can utilize volunteer help is enormous for us. We do lots of volunteer work days around the farm where groups will come out from schools that have National Honor Society groups or Girl Scout, Boy Scout troops, pony club groups, stuff like that, to help spruce up the farm and do basic repairs, clean up the paddocks, things like that. So the opportunities for volunteerism are endless.
Now, do you have fundraising events also? I know that you just said that it's donation-based.
We do. We have our largest fundraiser of the year, which generates the largest amount of income for us, is our big Derby Day celebration, which is always the first Saturday of May, and that's enormous. We transform the facility into a small banquet hall. We actually hold everything right in our indoor arena here. We have a sit-down dinner. We watch the Kentucky Derby race broadcast live on a huge screen. We have a live and silent auction, and so that generates the bulk of our income for the year. And then we have other small fundraisers throughout the year to assist with that. And then a lot of our money comes from grant writing and from private donors.
And so you have an event coming up August 26th here?
Yes, we do. That's our annual open house and horse show. It's open to the public for anybody that wants to learn more about our programs, see our riders in action. It's also a huge event for our riders to demonstrate what they've been learning all year long and show off their skills to their family and friends.
So if people want to become involved as a volunteer or actually to have one of their children go through the program, they'll contact you, and then do they do an assessment?
We do, yes. We do an intake evaluation, which is free of charge. We just ask that people call and set up an appointment through the office, and they would come out. It takes between 20 and 30 minutes, and we can just best ascertain if they would be a good fit for our program, and then that also lets us figure out what horsewood equipment, what their volunteer needs would be, and we can get them enrolled.
So they're going to contact that telephone number that you gave us earlier, and I'll put it down on the screen again.
Okay, wonderful.
And we're going to take a tour. Thank you for talking with us today.
Thank you very much for coming out. I appreciate it.
So what we work on in therapeutic riding is we really focus on the actual riding skills that we can teach. So today we're working on our walk-ons, which makes our horse go forward, and our woes, which makes our horse stop. And we're working on steering today, but we can accomplish those goals using a wide variety of games. So the game that we have set up today talks about the parts of our horse, and so we can talk about it on our actual horse, and then we're demonstrating it on a board today too. So it's fun for our riders to learn about the horse's anatomy, because that's a very important part of horsemanship, but it's also fun for them because they can demonstrate it on their horse. So it's really important.
Okay, Bill, I'm with another trainer here, Jessica LaRue. We were just watching you in the training process. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about you.
Sure.
I can see that this is a twofold passion for
Absolutely.
the trainers here. How did you get involved in this, and what kind of experience did you have when you started out?
Sure. So I volunteered at another program in the area for about 12 years when I was younger, from all through middle school, high school, and into college. So I loved volunteering. And so after graduating from school, I was trying to figure out a way to get back into it, and found Banbury and fell in love with the program. And they eventually mentored me and hired me on as an instructor.
So when you went to school, did you have to take maybe psychology courses? Were you involved with horses at home? Was that
Absolutely.
how you grew up?
Horses have always been my passion. It's always been something that I fell in love with, and that's how I began in therapeutic riding, was a way to interact with horses more. But now for me, it's become much more about our participants and our students. And the horses are incredible. They're definitely my coworkers, and I love them so much. We could not do our job without them. But it's so incredible to see how they can help our participants. It's really incredible.
And so let's talk about challenges. What are some of the biggest challenges you face in being a trainer?
It can be difficult at times to balance all of our different riders. We have a lot of riders with a wide variety of diagnosis, so that can be difficult to create lesson plans that can engage everyone, but it's a lot of fun to come up with them, and that's something I really, really enjoy. Troubleshooting and coming up with different ways to engage our participants is really important, so that's one of my favorite things to do. So I don't see it as a challenge. It's more fun for me.
Creativity.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a way to get creative and get to know our riders a little bit more.
Now we're here on a really nice day, although it's raining.
Yes.
But this program goes on all year long, right?
Yes, we run January up through about Thanksgiving. We take typically about a month off for the holidays, just because it gets so hectic with everyone's schedules. But yes, we're able to run almost year round. It's really wonderful that we're able to keep our program going. Our beautiful heated indoor arena really makes a big difference. And right now we have our fans on to help keep us cool in the hot summer months. So it's wonderful that we're able to do that.
Now, do you have to go through ongoing training as well
Absolutely.
periodically?
Yes. So I was mentored here at Banbury by Jessica Moore, our executive director. So we teach kind of similar, which is nice. But there, in addition to my certification, there's continuing education that each therapeutic riding instructor must follow. So we take a lot of classes and continue with your CPR and first aid certifications. There's a lot of stuff involved. It's not just a you can jump right into this. It's a lot of work and dedication involved with becoming a therapeutic riding instructor and keeping up with your certification.
So if there's younger students right now that are trying to decide what they want to go into when they go into college, do they have to have a degree for this? If they do, what should they take?
You do not have to have a degree in order to become a certified therapeutic riding instructor, which Jessica and I are both certified through PATH, which is the Professional Association of Therapeutic Horsemen. You must be 18 years or older in order to even begin the process. You do not need to have a college degree, but there are definitely colleges that offer a ton of therapeutic riding classes. It's very helpful, so you can definitely engage more in that way. You can take a lot more classes. And our certification process involved a lot of mentorship and training with other instructors as well. So,
Something I forgot to ask Jessica about and I wanted to touch on, you also have a program for Wounded Warriors, or is that through PATH?
PATH had a grant through the Wounded Warriors Project, so yes, we did work with some veterans. And right now we also work through EGALA, which is another, it's a mental health it's unmounted, so that works with veterans and all kinds of stuff. So we actually have a veteran retreat here on Sunday. So there'll be veterans. They don't ride, but they talk about, they work through their emotions and stuff with the horses. It's really incredible. Jessica Moore actually handles our EGALA stuff, our mental health classes. So she'd be the one you'd want to talk to about that.
And it's amazing. I want to touch on this a little bit. Jessica touched on the horses and the sensitivity of the horses.
Absolutely.
It's amazing the emotional and mental connection horses are capable of having.
They're incredibly capable of that. It's really cool because horses they're a herd animal, so they rely on everything around them in order to understand their world. So when they can tell that someone's energy level, maybe that they need something from them, they try to help. And it's really incredible, especially our horses. They're very, very in tune with our participants and our volunteers. They definitely grow attached to one another, and it's really incredible to see, like John right here, he's been riding Malabar for a couple years now, and they are just a great team together. They really, really enjoy one another's company, and they work very, very well. So it's great to see those friendships build.
Jessica, thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for the community. Thank you for the disabled, the Wounded Warriors, and our own community. I'm really proud that Banbury Cross is here.
We are too, so thank you so much. We couldn't do what we do without the support of our community.
Oh, my son just loves coming to this. He looks forward to it every Saturday. We come out here and he takes off and rides on the horse here, and he's worked on his balance over here. It's one thing they work on, balance, and it's a great program for kids. It gives them a chance to follow directions and learn different things that they can do on the horse. He enjoys it very much.
And how did you get involved with Banbury Cross in the first place initially? I know that was a long time ago.
I believe my wife at one time was talking to some doctors or physical therapists, and they recommended maybe coming out here and trying something like this to get my boy going.
So what do you have to say to parents that may be thinking about this, but they may be intimidated by the horses, they've never been around horses? What advice do you have for them?
Oh, I'd say if your child has maybe a physical handicap, to come on out and maybe get tested over here and have them take an evaluation of your child and see what they can come up with, because they're very, very nice over here with the children, and they work with them really well. So I'd say come on out and at least get evaluated.
Trust the process.
That's it right there. Trust the process.
Well, thank you for talking with us today, and the best of luck to all of you.
All right, thank you.
I started in July of 2012, so this is my 5th year. This is my anniversary, actually. I was actually volunteering at a different horse event in the area, and they just kind of teamed up the volunteers together, and the gal I was with at our hazard, she volunteers here. And she's like, Nathan, you need to come to Banbury and volunteer, because we need guys who are a little bit stronger that can help with the riders that kind of need more assistance. And so she bugged me a little bit about it, and I finally came, and I kind of watched the first class, and I volunteered the next week, and I've been here every Saturday and every Tuesday for classes since. So
So you're a horse guy.
I'm a horse guy. Yeah, I grew up with a horse and always had friends with horses. At the moment, I don't have a horse, so it's really great for me because I get my horse fix coming to Banbury, and so yeah, it's
Right. So now you have many horses.
yeah. We have right now we have 11 program horses. We'd like to have 12, so we're currently looking to fill a slot for that. But yeah, and they're all great.
Do you get an opportunity before you start training with students on the horses? Do you get an opportunity to work with the horses first and get to know who those horses are or their personality?
Yeah, I was talking to somebody about that today. It was when I first came, obviously with so many horses, it took a while. But once you're here, you get to learn. Each horse has their own little personalities and quirks, and so yeah, now that I've been here long enough, you just kind of know what makes each horse tick, and when they're having a bad day, what you can do to try to make it a little better for them, and it's nice too. Before classes, we bring all the horses in, and we have a little time just to we groom them and just kind of pet them and love on them and get them all ready, and they get their breakfast, and so we have a little time to kind of get together and bond with them a little bit before they come in for classes. So yeah.
So we are always, no matter what we're doing on public access television, we're asking for volunteers. So yes, we are asking for volunteers for Banbury Cross as well. Tell me what the process was like for you going through that certification. Was it frustrating? How much time do you have to dedicate?
Yeah, it was really simple. We run our sessions. They're different each session, but in between each session we have like a week off, and in that week we have a couple days that we schedule new volunteer orientation. And it was super simple. We schedule about a 3-hour window, and people will come, and we have a little session inside where we just kind of go through a little handbook. We have just safety procedures, just simple grooming techniques. Some of our volunteers don't have any horse experience, but we take anybody. I mean, if you don't know, you can learn, and a lot of our people do. So they've already been around horses and they're familiar with it. So we do a little orientation through the booklet, and then we come out to the arena and we just kind of let people get acquainted with the horses, and just kind of show them how we like to run things and just our safety procedures and things like that. And once you've gone through that training, you are good to go, and you can get on the list and sign up for a day of the week you'd like to help with our classes, and we'll plug you right in.
So I didn't get a chance to ask Jessica, what are the classes? How often do they run them? Is it every day of the week, or at night or day?
Yeah. Right now we actually have classes Monday through Saturday. Oh, wow. So, and they do fluctuate. We have some classes that are like in the weekday in the mornings, like maybe from like 10 to 12. And then we have like other classes during the week that are in the evenings that start at 5 and would go to like 8. Okay. And then Saturdays, obviously, they start in the morning and they run to the afternoon. So it's kind of great because some people, they work, so they can't do the day classes during the week. But like for me on Tuesday, I come straight from work and I help with the classes in the evening. So it kind of gives a good range, a time range for a lot of people. They can kind of be flexible on when they want to choose when they'd like to come and help us out. So.
Well, thank you for volunteering. And see, it wasn't that bad being on TV.
It really wasn't. You did a great job.
We've been riding probably 10 years here at Banbury. I don't remember how I found Banbury, actually. I may have Googled riding. Therapeutic riding, and found it that way. And she liked it the very first time. I was really nervous. I walked with her the first time, and she just loved it immediately. She was like just kind of jumping up and down on the horse. She was so excited.
And so is that something that's incorporated in normal physical therapy, or how does that work for her?
Well, it's not part of her therapy program. It was just something extra that we wanted to do with her so she could have like an extracurricular activity. What we noticed was that because my daughter doesn't sit independently, that when she was on the horse, she had more stability and back strength than she did beforehand. Also because my daughter has cerebral palsy, her hips were not able to like really have a lot of movement, and she is able to straddle the horse. So that was really a big deal. The other thing that we've noticed is that when we walk, when you and I walk, our backs move independent sort of each other. And that's a movement her body never has because she's never walked. But now she's able to experience that on the horse in a way that she never would have been able to before.
And so if there's a parent out there that's kind of considering this, but they're a little nervous, especially it's because it's horses, what can you say to them to help them through that transition?
Yeah, there's nothing to be nervous about. There's, everyone is very competent. It's a very well-run facility. It's there's a lot of thought put into who goes on what horse, who goes with what sidewalkers. There is nothing to be nervous about.
Thank you for talking with us today. I'm glad I got to meet you.
What a great story. Thanks, Terry. Next up, another ribbon cutting in Oxford. Let's watch.
Hello and welcome everyone. We are so excited to be here today to celebrate with Coldwell Banker Professional and with Chris Hendricks, the broker here, along with his amazing sales team. My name is Nicole Sturrett. I am the Executive Director here at the Oxford Chamber of Commerce. Today we celebrate this great team of realtors that are here to help you with any of your real estate needs. And if you're looking to buy a home, this is the place to come. We're very excited to be here today, and I just want to congratulate them on this wonderful new space, this great location. The inside is gorgeous. You did a great job. And on behalf of the Oxford Chamber and the Oxford community, we want to welcome you. And I also want to do a big thank you to Tiffany. Is Tiffany here? Oh, well, Tiffany was my great helper this week in getting this ribbon cutting together, so I just wanted to tell her thank you so much, so please let her know that. So thank you. So again, on behalf of the Oxford Chamber, our Oxford Board of Directors we have here today, the community and friends and family, we want to thank you, and on congratulations and welcome. No, thank you. Would you like to say a few words?
Sure. I mean, first off, I just want to say thank you. This is kind of a special, I say every day is a special day for Coldwell Banker. But today's maybe a little extra special, being an alum of Oxford High School, having, 4 younger brothers that all went through Oxford High School. We've had a great kind of 10-year run here. This is our 11th office. But for us, in so many different ways, this is like coming all the way home. So it's a great day. Thank you, Nicole, for the chamber, and thank you, everybody, for coming out today. It's just it's a wonderful day. So, and please give these great salespeople behind me a round of applause because they're what it's all about. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you all for coming out. Please stay, check out the place. It's beautiful. They've done a lot of hard work here. There's amazing food, beverages, and please come and talk to everybody here. We're going to make this official now, so if you'd like to hand that over to our president, Debbie Wren, and get out the big scissors. All right, everyone. Be careful. All right, ready, everyone? 1, 2, 3. Woo! Thank you again. Please check out OCTV, where we'll be on there, and also we'll be in the newspaper, so please go ahead and check that out. And thank you all again for coming, and thank you guys. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you.
There you go. Well, that's all the time for this week. We hope you enjoyed our program. So, for our reporter and editor, Terry Stiles, and our friends for the Chamber, I'm Bill Service, and you have a great week.